Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Here I am again doing a tarot read all around the astrological weather. So right now we are closing out a moon cycle and we are in a balsamic moon. So energy is very slow and introspective, and this is a time to really nurture self and rest and be in a place of release. We're a day away from the new moon in Aquarius, the Lunar New Year. We're moving in from the sign of the dragon into the sign of the snake, which to me I feel like archetypically when I think of the dragon and snake, I feel like there's a similar energy there. It's about spiritual wisdom, truth, just like power. They're power animals. And I think, yeah, it's about authenticity and truth, I feel like. You know, coming into closer to essence, right? So we may not totally recognize, because it's in this constant state of arising and emerging the self, right? The parts of us that are looking to express, right? And I think that this year is going to be that for all of us in some way. And so I'm just calling in for everybody, really the change to come in for us, to be more into our authentic selves and in our essence with much love and ease and grace, right? Because transformation, as the snake symbolizes, isn't always necessarily a peaceful process. You know, it could be a violent kind of change. It could feel like that sometimes. So I think maybe the practice is detachment and finding ways to get into right relation with transformation. So, you know, being on a spiritual journey, I feel like that's what constantly comes in for me, right? I see the growth edge. And I know that I have to be compassionate to myself and really hold things really loosely. The things that I want to bring in, I really have to hold loosely. And a really close friend of mine who's into the occult, who's a witch, tells me that, yeah, you know, when you do spell work, it's not like you're chasing, you know, you're not grasping, you know, it's about holding things, you know, loosely, right? Because once we get attached, somehow it gets messed up, right? We focus too much on the lack of the thing, right? But anyway, I'm getting way into it. So why don't we just get into it? I actually did the shuffle already. And yeah, so that we can just get into it, right? So this was I'd say a pretty intense moon cycle. And this is great that we're able to just like start fresh for the new intentions. And of course, with this Lunar New Year, to really think and set our sights on, you know, the longer vision for the year, right? Okay, so this is really interesting. This is the first card, right? This is the energy that's surrounding us. And I feel like it really resonates with the new moon energy, right? So this kind of like letting go, releasing, seeing what needs to be just finished with. Like, we're finished with this thing. And we're moving away from turbulent waters. We're not quite out of the turbulent waters. And I think this really speaks to Mars in Cancer. I think it was doing, it was like a lot of fuckery. It was opposite Aquarius, Pluto, out of sign in the sign of Leo. Right, so we have that energy. And of course we have other planets in Pisces that were also feeding into Mars when it moved into Cancer. And I think that was a violent kind of shift, I feel like. And I feel like for a lot of us, right? Again, getting into right relations with change, right? To know the force and the pressure to put upon things to change, right? Okay. So this is really interesting. I actually pulled these two cards already. I had to stop and restart, so I did know this. And this is actually, you know, this is a prominent energy to speak to anyway, but again, this is Leo. This is Leo energy, and I had mentioned Mars in Leo. It moved into the sign of Cancer, and it's going to move into the sign of Leo later this year in a couple months. Yeah, in a couple months, because it's going to go all the way back to Cancer and then all the way forward in Cancer, and then it's going to move into the sign of Leo. And Mars, after he goes direct, it's going to take some time, right? So anyway, this is about self. So the conflict of this Aquarian energy and Leo energy. Now this is a new moon, so we're actually going to get a Leo full moon in about 2 weeks, right? In the peak of the moon cycle, there's going to be a Leo moon, so that's interesting. It's sort of portending, it's sort of predicting, perhaps, to be mindful of that, right? Venus will be moving into the sign of Mars, which Mars loves the sun energy. So I don't know. It's gonna be, there's gonna be some interesting shifts this moon cycle for sure, right? There's gonna be some fire there with Venus moving into Aries. Okay. Wow. I did shuffle these cards really well, but we got this card last week. But this is the thing. Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius right now, right? So this is really grounding the reading, right? And so Pluto, anytime we're in Aquarius season, now we're going to be thinking about Pluto, right? And what Pluto is uncovering for us. And Pluto putrefies things. So anything that is old is gonna decay, right? It's decaying. There's decay that we're going to be discovering. It's like, what do we no longer have use for? Purification. Also, it's the act of purification, right? So, you know, like when Pluto was in Capricorn, when the sun and the moon in these full moons and new moons would go into the cardinal cross or Capricorn, we would be like, oh no! Now it's the fixed cross, right? So Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus, right? So yeah, this is the oppositional energy. But they're more the same than it seems, right? They're on opposite sides of the zodiacal wheel. But they have a lot of similarities, actually. It's like, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's just get to the next card here. Where are we? This is the grounding card. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't shuffle these cards too well. We got this card last week, and it's interesting because this is on our mind. The stability. The stability is really desired here. And the stability is really desired here. So I think that death here can go both ways. Stability comes from what we need to cut away. Again, so the cutting action, scorpionic. Okay, well, that's going to be towards the end of the moon cycle, the Scorpio moon coming in. So I think this speaks to the culmination of this moon cycle. There's going to be something, a big death of something, a big truth that is coming through. Again, this could be about self. The sun is about self, right? We got to be who we are. And we need to put in the effort to, at the will, to go through the difficult initiations that are coming forward right now, right? With Pluto. All right. So, oh wow. Okay, so this is the recent past. The Lover's card. So this is Cancerian energy. Again, that Cancer moon. It's in the past position, and this is also, it's speaking to an alchemical marriage. You see in the middle a caduceus. This is about healing. Healing into union, the union of opposites. And the lion and the wings. It almost looks like a cherub, an angel that is represented by, this baby, this cherub, this head and the wings. I think that there is protection here, but a blessing here. There's a fierceness here. Yeah, there's a fierce spirit here coming in. Yeah, but this is the thing. The fear, because Cancer energy always speaks to security. And so when we lack security, there will be fear, right? But there's something stronger than fear. And that's truth. There's a truth that's going to come in that's much stronger than the fear. It's going to overcome the fear, right? So that's what Pluto does. It exposes the truth. You have the snakes here, right? That pierces through the blocks. So it may not feel this way yet because we're still feeling the shock waves, right? And there's debris to clear. But the past has not totally revealed itself. What looks bad is actually good. What may look like good fortune actually turns out not to be, right? I was watching this documentary about this guy who won the lottery and then turned up missing. I don't know. I'm just saying. All right. So again, to not be too attached to events that are happening. For our own manifestation practice, our spell work and things like that, if that's a thing that you're into. But also, in terms of love and relationship and even financial abundance, Venus is going to be going retrograde. So a lot of things that we may be putting investments in isn't something that is totally the way to go, and that will reveal itself in the next few months. So strategies will, I think, definitely change. Yeah, so all right, let's see here. This is the future card. Ooh, look at this. Well, this is earth energy. This is the mastery of the earth energy. This is like the ending of a cycle, a very fruitful cycle. So if we're looking at this new moon, we can feel into, this possibility. This could also be the nodes coming in here. Virgo has moved into, it's the Virgo Pisces axis now. And we're going to be getting eclipses in this energy of Virgo. So something to do with practicality, right? Service, the earthly realms. There's a fertility here and abundance, so that's really good. Knowing what to cut out, right? So what might seem like scarcity right now is actually the creation of space, right? We're creating space. We're creating space for abundance, something more solid and stable. And reframing things to what was perhaps strenuous is actually this tension that creates, right? The friction that creates something new, more in line, more resonant to our true selves, our essence, right? The snake keeps coming up, right? Because of the snake, the year of the snake coming up. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I think this is the Jupiter card. This is symbolizing good fortune. This is the ending of the cycle. I think this is the last card, right? The 21. Yeah, and the four corners here are speaking to the four directions. Yeah, it's like you're in the winner circle. You got the world. Oh, wait, maybe the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Anyway, the world. Oh, this is the Saturn card, I believe. Oh, oh, wow, 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 wow. Okay. I think it's the Saturn card, but anyway, regardless, Saturn wants to come in, I think. Saturn's actually a very mystical planet. And we don't think of it that way because it's, you know, kind of the taskmaster. It symbolizes time. It's seen as hardship, and all of this, but actually, it's the boundary. It straddles, Saturn straddles the world of the seen and unseen. Yeah, so I think we do need to orient our perspective on the now or immediate now, right? To stay present, to see what are the things, what is the next step, right? And not get too diffused in too many too big picture, but kind of bring it in, because in that way you can win this level, right? You got to master this level that you're at right now. You can't skip steps in initiation. Like, you can't skip steps, right? Not that it's totally linear, but this is where you're at right now, and you got to work it, and you got to work hard, and you got to discipline yourself to get there, to arrive. All right. Okay. Okay. Chaos. I think it was Nietzsche. Maybe it was Nietzsche that said, stars are birthed out of chaos, or chaos, I don't know, something like this, right? Chaos is actually like a precursor to creation, right? Something new is coming through, but something needs to be destroyed. So this is Mars energy. So like I was saying to you before, that the modern ruler of Pluto is Scorpio, and yeah. And yeah, I think that these are similar energies. Right. So this is kind of the environment that we're in. I think, yeah, I mean, it seems like chaos around us, right? It seems like a little bit chaos, but stay in our lane. Stay in your lane. You know, you have to make sure you have provisions for self. Don't get too carried away, swept away, with the chaos around you, right? Interesting. So yeah, there's a cutting away here. Right. I was just saying that, so funny. Provisions. Making sure that you have provisions to look out for yourself, right? That you have to make sure that you put the mask on. You know, that whole analogy, right? On the plane, when, you know, You give yourself oxygen before you help someone else or help your child, right? Because if you don't, you can't help your child. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's it's withholding, right? And this is Saturnian. I believe that what is this? This is fixed Earth. Fixed Earth is Taurus energy. Again, fear of stability. That's what's on our mind. Is it money, and it could be also love and affection, right? To feel safety in that. Right. Okay, so this is the culminating card. Oh, wow. Eight of Wands, fire energy. There's a lot of things to contend with. There's a lot of things coming at us. And maybe that's why we're kind of like making ourselves a little small. Maybe we feel like we're targeted or being targeted right now for, like the universe is out to get us. But actually, this is more of opportunity, right? That the things that are being cut away and sort of the void space that's coming in, trust that there's going to be opportunity and movement along this path that you're moving in, as far as stability, as far as using the old as fertilizer for new growth, right? So that these are lessons learned, right? So making sure that we are sticking to the step that we are currently at. And I think that that's where mastery is right now. It's in the mundane in some ways, right? It's in the day-to-day mundane, in the practical, right? Because if we want to bring in the stability in love, in money, we gotta bring in the discipline, right? Of Saturn, of the king, right? That's mastery over the material world, right? Yep. And I just realized also that this first card is the Mercury and Aquarius card, which is making a conjunction to Pluto. To Pluto in this new moon. So I think that there will be truths coming up, right? And perhaps opportunities to communicate things that are long overdue, right? And maybe it's also an understanding and a recognition within our own selves, right? Because I think that there's a lot of shadow stuff going on here. With so much Piscean energy, and we haven't even entered Pisces season yet. But yeah, so that's what I got for you. I hope this has been really helpful. I think, yeah, and also have the courage. Ooh, have the courage. Also, now that I see that that's Mercury, I'm pretty sure that's Mercury in Aquarius. Having the courage, right? Having the courage to be who we are, right? And so that might require speaking, maybe from a place that's never really been exposed beyond our inner world, which is kind of an interesting thought. This is what's coming through, right? And I think Aquarius season in general is about letting your freak flag fly. And that's what I was saying before, that actually they're more than the same. Aquarius and Leo energy are actually more the same. They're obviously opposites, and they're across from each other, and they're opposing energies, but they're actually really similar. Wave your freak flag, and also disrupt, right? Disrupt the status quo. Right? The modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, right? So it's this like challenging the status quo, and yeah, bring in the courage and the I don't give a fuck energy that Leo actually brings, right? It's all about the self. Because once we're able to do that, we're really able to let others be who they are too. And that's the beauty of it. All right, so that's what I got for you. I hope you're moving through the energies with much love, ease, and grace. Happy Lunar New Year. Hope that the transformation that you're seeking in life happens, like again, with much love, ease, and grace. And I'll see you next time.